You counterproductive, degenerate who gonna sell drugs to go to Kemet?
You counterproductive, degenerate motherfucker. Who gonna sell drugs to go to Kemet? Hello, America, FBI and CIA agents and fellow cult members. Welcome to Culture Club USA. I'm Dubrava. Now, as you know, I like to title my shows, which is why, for today's episode, I brought my very special friend, Miss Snow Bunny. Because today's show will be called A Snow Bunny Soliloquy in the Hour of Chaos. Why Dr. Umar Johnson could be hip-hop music's most unlikely savior. Let me repeat that. Today's show is titled A Snow Bunny Soliloquy in the Hour of Chaos. Why Dr. Umar Johnson could be hip-hop music's most unlikely savior. The demise of hip-hop's rap music culture. That swift and utterly destructive game of hot potato that predictably ends when the music stops and urban communities are left holding its remnants of violence, aggression, drug promotion, and the ever-enduring negative stereotypes that have plagued whole generations of Black Americans. But hey, somebody's got to promote the busting down of Colombian bricks into packs and hitting the block to serve fiends and eventually tricking off all the money in a dusty club called Espacio, where fatherless daughters slide down unsanitized steel poles for local community college tuition. But today's seething soliloquy won't center around the exploitation of the negative street elements of the culture, but rather their fading but essentially vital piece of the rap culture universe: conscious culture. Now, many would say that hip-hop, at its fundamental core, is consciousness. Yeah, and they would have been right in, say, 1978, 1988, or even 1994. You see, this is the new generation of hip-hop. The revolutionaries, street poets, dreamers, activists, visionaries, and idealists have largely been reduced to the culture's underground. But I've found the solution: a fixer, a man of the people, a cult hero of the voiceless, who could calm the collective and bring clarity to hip-hop's cultural heritage and see its way through the calamity of this callous, contemptuous collusion. There is only one man. Yep. The unauthorized descendant of Frederick Douglass, a distant cousin of the Egyptian designer of the pyramids, and self-proclaimed King Kong consciousness, Dr. Umar Johnson. Yes, that Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, if you're not familiar with Dr. Umar, he is one of the Black conscious community's foremost scholars and thought leaders, with a reputation gained through his popular traveling lectures and massive online presence. But he's also its most controversial, with his connections to alleged financial scams, alleged rendezvous in nightclubs with strippers, and alleged addiction to pork, gyro meat, bean pies, and the usual assortment of garden variety petty underworld beefs, which might leave you asking, this is the guy that you think could possibly save rap music? Well, look, I know this might be a surprising choice, as you might have been thinking of, one of the list of luminaries like KRS-One, Chuck D, Q-Tip, DJ Premier, Reverend Run, or some of the other worthy statesmen of the culture. But to get this done, to get rap music back on track and return it to the youth of the inner cities that created it, and make the labels pay for what they did to the Cold Crush, we're going to need a shift in approach. And as much as we revere the men I mentioned earlier, this is going to take a different kind of energy. A dirty, low-down, Chinatown, back-alley scammer energy. A crooked Baptist preacher with the collection plate in the strip club type of energy. Meet your sick grandmother in a grocery store checkout line and scam her out of her groceries and her social security check type of energy. A church's chicken next to the liquor store, Bronx Bodega blood plasma donation for a White Castle meal voucher kind of... Well, okay. I think you get where I'm going with this, right? You see, Dr. Umar has proven to be unbothered by what large swaths of the population say about his alleged shady business dealings, devious backdoor deeds, and big promises with empty outcomes. His shameless, relentless, unabashed, brazen, family dollar parking lot preacher panhandling tactics have brought on a hard-line division within the Pan-African online community. But I must stress, these assertions are opinions I've surmised from my own observations of his ascension to prominence, and I'll leave you to your own conclusion. I'm going to present to you the brilliance and chaos of Dr. Umar's duality and prove why you need a snake to play in a snake pit. I want you to check out this recent clip of Dr. Umar speaking on the subject of hip-hop on the Art of Dialogue podcast. And no, I am not a CIA operative. Play that clip.
Right now, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. That's the big theme right now all over the country, all over the world. We're going to let this year-long celebration go by. I don't see anybody talking about the ramifications, the negative impact that hip-hop has had on the Black community.
Now, as you can see from that short clip, Dr. Umar has a rather commanding presence and quite eloquently and easily presents his gifts as a scholar and an orator. He also had some powerful things to say about the past and present direction of hip-hop and its effect on the Black community. He doesn't come off or appear to be a scammer, right? Let's play another clip.
You come to the community and you throw a couple parties, and in exchange for some damn turkeys and chickens and some Snickers, you push death and destruction on our children for a living, and we're supposed to be okay with that because you dropped off some clothes and some turkeys. It's not acceptable. Until hip-hop begins to be a blessing for the Black community, hip-hop is an agent of white supremacy.
Again, Dr. Umar appears to be sincere and steadfast in his stances and on the pros and cons of the culture and where it needs to go and its debt to the community that birthed it. Now this is the Dr. Umar that sucks everyone in. This is the version of Dr. Umar that persuades thousands of his followers to fork over millions of dollars of donations while boasting kinship to the likes of Frederick Douglass and simultaneously naming, people like Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X in every other sentence. Play the next clip.
Now, the first thing the hip-hop artist is going to say, I'm only rapping what I live. That means you're a hypocrite. If you're telling me you're rapping what you live, you don't live it no more. But yet you're telling me the reason you're still rapping about death, drugs, jail, and homicide is because that's the life you live. You don't live it no more.
Okay, so here is where we get into the brilliance that is the duality of Dr. Umar Johnson. But before we move forward, play that clip again.
Now, the first thing the hip-hop artist is going to say, I'm only rapping what I live. That means you're a hypocrite. If you're telling me you're rapping what you live, you don't live it no more. But yet you're telling me the reason you're still rapping about death, drugs, jail, and homicide is because that's the life you live. You don't live it no more.
Well, Dr. Umar puts it so eloquently that it's almost believable. But Dr. Umar is an expert at what he speaks about here because he lives it. Check out this clip of Dr. Umar, ready to take it to the streets with one of his rivals in the conscious community. Play that clip.
I'ma deal with Papa Smurf. I'ma deal with that little dirty nigga. I heard you, albino. I'ma handle your ass tonight. You ain't getting away with that shit. You should have never came for me. I never f with your little dirty broke ass anyway. Still living in your fucking mama house. What type of grown ass going on 50 still living in this mama house? Look at my face when you talking to me. This ain't no WWF. Who the f is you, the conscious Hulk Hogan? You the conscious Hulk Hogan? Papa Smurf? Motherfucker, you look like Tattoo from Fantasy Island with your stupid ass. Who the f is you? Now you want it with the prince, nigga? You the general? Well, I'm the prince, nigga. The general answers to the prince. I call the f***ing shots, you dirty midget. F***ing albino nigga.
Now that's a far cry from the Dr. Umar a few clips back, who was ready to get on the horn and call Minister Farrakhan. Seems like Umar, has been peddling bean pies and St. Ides in the same sentence. Let's play another clip.
Trust me, you don't, man. You don't want to go there with me, family. Leave that shit alone. You will lose that. Trust me, man. I told you conscious niggas I don't play with y'all like that. But I knew you had to do it. They gassed you, and now they gonna ask you, nigga. They gassed you, now they gonna ask you. Umar Johnson don't bow to none of you niggas. Speak your speech. You built like that? I got some for you. I got some for you. Y'all ready for this, family? You counterproductive, degenerate motherfucker. Who gonna sell drugs to go to Kemet, bitch? I'm right here, nigga. Come bring it.
You counterproductive, degenerate motherfucker. Who gonna sell drugs to go to Kemet, bitch? Well, now this is what I was getting at earlier. You see, if hip-hop is going to be taken back from the corporations, this is the type of energy you need. A man that on one hand could sit down and negotiate like an ancient Egyptian diplomat, and on the other hand, go full-on guerrilla warfare like Beanie Siegel in State Property. It's the Broad Street Bully, bitch. Play the next clip.
But don't come to me with no WWF make-believe Hulk Hogan YouTube video shit. That does nothing for me, bitch. That Papa Smurf shit ain't gonna get us nowhere. That Papa Smurf shit ain't gonna get us nowhere. You feel me? Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. So that Papa Smurf thing ain't gonna work. You feel me?
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Let me find out. Play that clip again.
But don't come to me with no WWF make-believe Hulk Hogan YouTube video shit. That does nothing for me, bitch. That Papa Smurf shit ain't gonna get us nowhere. That Papa Smurf shit ain't gonna get us nowhere. You feel me? Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. So that Papa Smurf thing ain't gonna work. You feel me?
Okay. This is what I was talking about. Dr. Umar, in a gassed-up, testosterone-filled street rant, found himself at the climax of said street rant. You know, the part where you take that faithful call from the goons and choose violence, and gets a phone call. How embarrassing. I mean, really, Umar? What in the WWE Hulk Hogan... Wait a minute. Pro tip. Put the phone on silent after the first call next time, Umar. You know, it was probably just his Uber Eats driver. I mean, I assume it was his usual order. The Haram special with a ham sandwich, a side of bacon with a rack of pork spare ribs, and a side of sausage links. Hold on. He claims to not even eat pork. Play that clip.
If you smell funky when you perspire,
my sister, it's because you eating too much red meat and pork. If you smell funky when you perspire, you're eating too much red meat and pork. If your woman stank, if your man stank, you need to be on this Pan-African fast with me right now. If you stank up the place, making love in the heat, somebody needs to purge that undigested red meat. It sounds like somebody needs to purge that undigested red meat. Let me go back to my donors.
Okay, let's get back on track here. Before you go on to judge Umar for one sporadic evening of chaos, instead, judge him for how he settled this tense situation. Play the next clip.
Forgive me, y'all. Forgive the language. I had to handle something because in this conscious community, every once in a while, y'all know somebody got to try the prince. I knew he was coming because he'd been living in my shadow for over 7 years now. I knew he was coming because when they say RBG, they think of Ifa Tunde. They don't think of some little albino-looking broke ass sleeping on his mama couch, no job having, no income having ass fraud with a Napoleon complex because he only 5 feet tall. Nobody think about you. Don't you ever speak my name in vain. Don't you ever speak my name in vain. I'm talking to you, Shady.
You see, that's how a statesman and leader of culture peacefully settles disagreements with his rivals. Classy and humble. Let's get back to the main interview. Play the next clip.
50 years, a multi-billion-dollar industry. And in 50 years, the hip-hop community hasn't built a single relevant institution for the black community anywhere.
Now, everything the doctor is saying here is correct. But within that statement lies his greatest indictment. You see, Dr. Umar, sitting there, taking the hip-hop community to task for its lack of building institutions, is no different than Joe Biden complaining about the school-to-prison pipeline. So for those of you who are not in the know, one of the biggest knocks on Dr. Umar Johnson's checkered legacy is the school. What school is this, you say? Well, going all the way back to the year 2010, Dr. Umar began to publicly lay plans for the foundation of a school called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, otherwise known as FDMG. Now, Umar claims that he first began taking donations for the school in 2014. And according to Black Enterprise magazine, he's taken in $1 million, consisting mostly of small donations. While others analyzing the situation say he's taken in way over $1 million and possibly $2 million. Now, after years of controversy and fanfare, Dr. Umar purchased a dilapidated, abandoned school property in Delaware in 2019. But it's early 2024, and the school has yet to open. So this is 10 years from the date of his first donation? Interesting. Play the next clip.
Look, Dr. King began his career with the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955. Dr. King was assassinated in 1968. That means Dr. King had 13 years. Look at what he did in 13 years.
13 years. Okay. Dr. Umar began planning his school 14 years ago, but we shouldn't be too hard on him, though. 3,000 plus days, $1 million or so in cash, and modern advancements like the internet and a smartphone have made it much, much more difficult than in Dr. King's day. Cut the man some slack. Play the next clip.
Let's go to the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party was founded in 1966. The revolutionary phase of the Black Panther Party was pretty much over with by 1971. That's 5 or 6 years. And look what the Panthers did in 5 or 6 years.
Black Panthers, 5 or 6 years. Wow. I mean, are we really going to hold Dr. Umar to the standards of the Black Panthers? I mean, they had rotary phones, stick-up flyers, and word of mouth. Umar's had over $1 million and hundreds of thousands of social media followers. I mean, are we really going to act like these situations are equal? Again, cut the man some slack. Play the next clip.
Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, showed up in New York in 1916. He's deported in 1927. 11 years. Hip-hop has been around for 50 years. Not a single hospital, not a single school, not a single bank.
You see? Marcus Garvey, 11 years, but hip-hop, 50 years. Umar is way under the 50-year mark. He's got like 40 years until he could even be questioned about the FDMG Academy, right? But for all the haters out there, Umar's got some news for you. Play the next clip.
I'm talking to FDMG Academy donors only right now. To my donors from around the African diaspora. To my donors across the African diaspora, the HVAC has to get inspected. As soon as that's done, we are applying for our certificate of occupancy. Certificate of occupancy. Certificate of occupancy.
See? 14 years after its conception and 4 years after the purchase of a condemned school property. Wait for it. Wait for it. Certificate of occupancy. Let's go. Umar, through all the struggle and strife and outside retaliation from Whitey, has somehow managed to procure a certificate of occupancy. Wait, there's more. Play the next clip.
I am also setting up 3 very important days of preparation. There will be a FDMG Donors Only Paint Day. There will be a FDMG Donors Only Paint Day. There will be a FDMG Donors Only Paint Day. Who coming to paint? Who coming to help us paint the 15 classrooms inside of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Elementary School? Who coming to paint?
Wow. So if you were one of the donors and only one of the donors, you get special perks. No, it's not a cocktail party or a walkthrough of the fully renovated property or some special package sent to you with an FDMG t-shirt, mug, and a special thank you letter personally signed by Dr. Umar. Nope. You get to paint the building. Ta-da! Yes, you get to paint the building. Now, records show that Dr. Umar purchased the building for $400,000 after he'd already raised over $1 million. So this makes total sense to me, right? Play the next clip.
We're going to have a paint day. Paint day doesn't have to wait for the occupancy because donors, investors are painting. Donors, investors are painting. Donors, investors are painting, not the public. Donors and investors are painting. If you are interested in painting on paint day, shoot me a text.
Donors, investors are painting. Donors, investors are painting. Donors, investors are painting. Can you imagine buying stock in Apple and the CEO, Tim Cook, calling for an investors-only iPhone slave labor assembly day? Let me do this in Umar's voice, actually. This is Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, and I'm calling for a stockholders-only 17-hour shift, Chinese, communist, labor camp style, Apple iPhone Pro sweatshop assembly day. This is Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, and I'm calling for a stockholders-only 17-hour shift, Chinese, communist, labor camp style, Apple iPhone Pro sweatshop assembly day. This is Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, And I'm calling for a stockholders only 17-hour shift, Chinese, communist, labor camp style, Apple iPhone Pro sweatshop assembly day. Can you imagine? Play the next clip.
We're going to have a paint day, and then we're going to have a cleanup day, and then we're going to have a furniture day. We're going to have a paint day, a cleanup day, and a furniture day. 3 different days, brothers and sisters. A paint day, after we paint and the paint dry, we're going to come back a week later, cleanup day for those who want to help us clean the bathrooms and clean the floors and get the school nice and clean for that grand opening. Get the school nice and clean for that grand opening. So if you don't want to paint, you can clean. If you don't want to clean, you can paint, or you can come on furniture day, day 3.
We're going to have a paint day, a cleanup day, and a furniture day. We're going to have a paint day, a cleanup day, and a furniture day. We're going to have a paint day, a cleanup day, and a furniture day. See, folks? You get to clean the toilets, sanitize the urinals, scrub the grouch off the bathroom floors, pick up Umar's dirty socks and underwear off his bedroom floor, the school gym floor, and pick up the empty Big Mac boxes in his kitchen. The school kitchen. Wow. Play the next clip.
Furniture day, that's when we move all the school furniture into the school. We're going to need men for that. We're going to need unapologetically African alpha males for that. We're going to need unapologetically African alpha males for the furniture day to move the school furniture into the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy.
What's next? Oh, I know. I need someone with either a Medicaid voucher, a valid debit or credit card, or in-store points. I need someone with either a Medicaid voucher, a valid debit or credit card, or in-store points. I need someone with either a Medicaid voucher, a valid debit or credit card, or in-store points to go to the Walgreens pharmacy at 2014 Broad Street and pick up a prescription for high blood pressure medication and a peanut butter Snickers for Big Papa. To go to the Walgreens pharmacy at 2014 Broad Street and pick up a prescription for high blood pressure medication and a peanut butter Snickers for Big Papa. To go to the Walgreens pharmacy at 2014 Broad Street and pick up a prescription for high blood pressure medication and a peanut butter Snickers for Big Papa. Remember, it's a peanut butter Snickers. Play the next clip.
Listen up. If you know how to lay tile and lay carpet, please send me a text message. If you know how to lay tile and lay carpet, please send me a text message. If you know how to lay tile and lay carpet, because after we paint and after we clean, we have some classrooms that need fresh tile laid down. We're going to keep the floor the same color. We got a few classrooms that need fresh tile. Who knows how to lay tile? Who knows how to lay tile? And 2 rooms are going to have carpet. Who know how to lay carpet down? I need red, black, and green.
Ladies, I'm looking for a place to stay. Ladies, I'm looking for a place to stay. Ladies, I'm looking for a place to stay. If you are in the Philadelphia area and your children are gone during the day, you have an empty couch, running hot water, a PS5, a microwave, Hot Pockets, gummy bears, and a box of Gordon's fish sticks, please DM me. If you are in the Philadelphia area and your children are gone during the day, you have an empty couch, running hot water, a PS5, a microwave, Hot Pockets, gummy bears, and a box of Gordon's fish sticks, please DM me. If you are in the Philadelphia area and your children are gone during the day, and you have an empty couch, running hot water, a PS5, a microwave, Hot Pockets, gummy bears, and a box of Gordon's fish sticks, please DM me. And remember, ladies, it must be Gordon's. Big Papa don't do no great value. Play the next clip.
I need my educators and my school district employees to find us some school furniture. We don't want to buy it if we can get it for free. We don't want to buy school furniture if we can get it for free. We don't want to buy school furniture if we can get it for free. We don't want to buy school furniture if we can get it for free. Next topic I want to bring up If we do have to buy school furniture because we don't get enough donations, if we do have to buy school furniture if we don't get enough school furniture donations, I need y'all to help me find school furniture companies. School furniture companies, so we can create a registry, just like you do when you do a baby shower. We need to create a school furniture registry so brothers and sisters who want to help us buy school furniture can go on the website and buy some desks, buy some chairs, buy some bookshelves, buy some tables, right?
Can you imagine investing in a company like Nike and the CEO saying, okay, let me do it in Umar's voice, of course. Okay, I need investors to find me a 120,000 square foot facility in China. Okay, I need investors to find me a 120,000 square foot facility in China. I need a 120,000 square foot facility in China. We don't want to pay for it if we don't have to. We don't want to pay for it if we don't have to. I need a 120,000 square foot facility in the province of China. If we can get it donated, that would be perfect. I don't want to pay for a facility in China if we can get it for free. Then I'm going to need 10,000 Chinamen. I need 10,000 Chinamen. I need 10,000 Chinamen to donate their time in a facility to manufacture the Air Jordan 3 sneakers. I need 10,000 Chinamen to donate their time to manufacture the Air Jordan 3 sneakers. We don't want to pay for them if we don't have to. We don't want to pay for them if we don't have to. Okay. Enough. Okay. Let me collect myself. Here's the thing. Rap culture is a billion-dollar industry, largely built on the backs of the Black youth who come from some of the most underserved and underprivileged communities in Western culture. And while major multinational corporations like Warner, Universal, and Sony cash in on the most negative elements of the culture, grifters like Dr. Umar Johnson become the yin to the yang. Now, while some may feel it's unfair to compare one man to the multinational conglomerates that I mentioned, those like him represent the tip of the spear of something equally as destructive. While the most negative elements of rap culture are loud and overt, conscious hustlers like Umar work their magic by waging a quiet but lucrative, never-ending war against it. I don't want to gang up on Umar here, but he represents a cabal of would-be do-gooders that pull in billions with those loose promises of solving the problem, making the $1 million or so that Umar raised look like weekend pocket change. But he's no different from the nonprofits like BLM, the NAACP, the ACLU, or any evangelical industrial complex, aka the church. They all thrive on the fuel that is, at least in part, underscored by elements of urban rap culture. But hey, the money for that shiny new Tesla and designer puppy has got to come from somewhere, right? I'm Dubrava. See you next time.